we had Yella on the show. We asked DJ Yella, was there any unreleased N.W.A. material? He said no. The only thing that was unreleased was maybe a couple diss tracks that they didn't want to put out against Dre. Are you saying there is unreleased N.W.A. material?
I'm in possession of those tracks. I got those tracks. I have
these tracks.
I have these tracks. When I heard about that, when I heard Yella had made a statement in an interview saying there was no demos that were unreleased, this proves to you Yella wasn't there at the beginning. You got to remember, these were all songs that we were doing prior. These were all early songs. These were all like the first shit that we were doing. Yella wasn't even part of it at the time. So as far as Yella knowing about it, he wouldn't know about it because he wasn't there. So of course he doesn't. To him, he only knows what he knows when he stepped in. You see what I'm saying? So I have those tracks. I got tracks. Got tracks with Eazy. Got tracks with Dre. Dre. Eazy did a up-tempo song called "It's in Control," and it had a vocoder through it. The whole song. It was a party song.
Eazy did a song called what was the name of the song?
It's in Control. That was the name of the song. Yeah,
wow.
It's in Control. You're not going to be able to find it.
Did it make the cut for N.W.A. and the Posse?
It didn't make the cut. No, it didn't. To be honest with you, it was a cool little song, but you couldn't understand. Because of the vocoder and then Eazy doing the vocoder, you couldn't understand it. Like it was weird. It was like a weird song, but it was a cool song. I liked it. It just wasn't for them. It just wasn't good enough. Yeah, and I had to agree with them. It was a song. Not every song people do are going to make the cut. You know what I mean? Just at that point in time, we were just focused on EPs, maxi singles, EPs. That was it. That was all we were working on at the time. So as long as we could make some maxi singles and some dope EPs, then we were going to strike interest. And then once people were interested in that stuff, then obviously it would develop into an album.
Again,
that's right, man. I used to love buying the maxi singles too.
They were affordable. They were affordable.
Yeah. Once again, I went to your page and I heard an unmixed version of Gangsta Gangsta, and you're in possession of this. How many songs are you in possession of that were never released?
Well, there's quite a few. I want to say there's probably, I would say maybe less than 10. Probably less than 10 songs total. Obviously, Gangster Gangster, which wasn't called Gangster Gangster when it was first written. It was called From Around the Way, and that song basically was supposed to be rapped by Eazy, but Eazy didn't do the song for whatever reason. That's Cube wrote it. So obviously Cube did. They wind up changing it up a little bit, and then that's when we changed it to Gangsta Gangsta. There's that song, and then I have the If It Ain't Rough. I have the demo version of If It Ain't Rough, which I think sounds doper than the actual version, the version that they wound up using. There's that. There's It's in Control. Then the other track was a track that Dre did called Going Off, which had a lot of scratching in it. It was just Dre rapping. It was a real laid-back song, but it had rock music in it. Kind of corny, and I think about it now, it's kind of corny, but for a lot of people, that's a novelty item right there. People would love to hear that song. It's called Going Off. And then Cube did some little cut called I want to say it was called Dog Shit. That was the name of the song. I know it sounds kind of funny, the title, but he's rapping about meeting this girl, going to her house, doing it with her, this and that, and then getting caught by her dad, and then him running out of the house with his pants off and all this shit, and he steps in some dog shit. That's how the song ends. Like, he says something, and I stepped in that same dog shit. And that's how the song ends. And it's got a hard, the beat is hard though. The drums on it are real dope. They use the same drums as on Dope Man for dog shit. And but they use this like corny like duck, like there was like a quacking in the background, and it was like a duck quacking. It was weird, like quack quack, just like through the whole song. And I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing that for? It's like weird. Didn't make any sense. If anything, put a fucking dog in there or something, but instead of using a damn duck, So
in possession of the original Masters?
I don't know who has. I really don't know who has the actual reels on those. I don't know, to be honest with you. All I know is every time I was in the studio with Dre, I'd get a copy. I'd get a copy of anything new, because Dre would always be like, yeah, you always wanted to hear it, while he was in his car or just kicking back, because he liked to critique. Obviously he's his worst critic. Dre's always wanted to hear stuff back and go over it till he's happy. I mean, he's a perfectionist. I think it's obvious, him not releasing the Detox album, he's just too hard. He's too hard on himself, but to listen to it over and over and over and over, that's Dre. So he always used to make cassettes, and then he'd want our input too. He'd want our feedback. So whoever happened to be in the studio that day, that particular time, would get a copy of the songs. And normally it was just me. I would be like the only one there with Dre, 10, 11 o'clock at night on a Tuesday or Thursday or whatever, and then the guys would come in after and they would listen to it. But, Dre always respected my opinion on shit. Didn't mean that he listened to me or took my 2 cents when I would offer it. But for the most part, he if it sounded good, then he'd be like, all right, cool, what did you think, D? And I'd be like, yeah. And then he'd be like, yeah, me too. And then he would just leave it, So, but I would get copies of everything. So,
see, that's crazy, because this shit's floating around out there. Okay, you said you have about close to 10 songs or something like that.
Yeah.
That's almost a whole album's worth of unreleased N.W.A. material. That unreleased Eazy-E material, Ice Cube.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you know how important it is, especially right now, considering Straight Outta Compton's coming out in like a month? Do you realize how important that is to the music world? Why haven't you uploaded any of that to YouTube? I mean, you did a little bit of Gangster, which I commend you for that.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did this other song called Gin and Sacco with Dre, and we're clowning through the whole song. And it was a very simple track. We just clowned around because we produced tracks for JJ Fad. I'd come in, help out. I was trying to be a producer at that time when JJ Fad was working on their album. And so I was trying to learn the drum and the SP12 and this and that. So I put in my little 2 cents, and I'd add a little beat and a little kick, and Dre would let me do that because he was like, fuck it, I mean, as long as he was watching me, it was cool. So, I contributed to that. I never got credit for it, never asked for any credit. It was, for me, it was a learning experience, especially with JJ Fat. But yeah, why didn't I release anything, or why haven't I put anything on YouTube? I guess because